By the way, this last sentence is grammatically incorrect, but I did that on purpose. We lost. Okay. A big thing about keeping the reader's interest and things being clear. Clarity is also related to flow, and by flow I mean that they want to keep reading, right? It kind of somehow it leads them on, and they don't lose interest, because if it doesn't flow enough, then they get a little distracted, and then they lose the meaning of what you're saying. So anything that distracts them from the content is not a good thing, right? It reduces the clarity of it and reduces the information they bring in. Now, I don't know who said this, but this is something I've heard in the theater. It could be 20 seconds, it could be 30 seconds, but when you're performing, you're trying to get every moment as tight and sharp and concise as you can, just as you're trying to get every sentence as concise and clear as you can. So the saying is, if you don't, and if it's kind of flabby and not efficient and too slow, they start to get bored. They don't know why, but they start to get bored. It's not tight enough. Their brain is ahead of us, right? Instead of us challenging their brain. And once they start to get bored, it's just hard to get them back. Okay? So I think that's true in writing too. Not that they're going to read for 20 minutes and then get back necessarily in writing. They may just disappear forever or just skim it. But that's the idea that you got to be careful about losing them. Of course, this is going to be a lot more relevant to the web, right? First of all, as I say in the bottom thing, text is a lot harder to read on the web. Screens aren't really made for it. Although I don't have the new Amazon Kindle book reader, but Noel has one. Maybe he can show us someday. They're supposed to be much better for reading text on a screen. But readers obviously can switch to another website very quickly, right? And they do. We probably all tend to do it. We have 8 tabs open, and we're going back. Oh, gotta check my email. I'm on the 4th paragraph of this article. Oh, not that interesting. Check my email. They never come back to it, right? I mean, it's the equivalent of the remote control with the TV. When I was growing up, there were 5 channels, and there was no remote control, and you had to go up there and turn it by hand, and churn your own butter and all that. And so people have choices, and the attention spans tend to be a lot shorter. Now maybe, I don't know if the attention span is short, but they have more choices, that's for sure. So this trying to keep their interest is important. Okay, spelling and grammar. Now there's some teachers who are very big on spelling, and it's this really big moral thing, or so. It's a horrible thing if you ever misspell a word. And I don't see it that way. People send emails and instant messages and don't worry about spelling at all. And I think that's perfectly fine. However, when you get up to a certain point of a more serious article and you're sort of in a more professional environment, and people are trying to digest serious content and maybe ideas to connect, misspellings and poor usage, they just tend to distract and slow them down. They're just even if they're noticeable, or if it creates that microsecond of confusion, it slows down the flow. Okay? So for me, that's really what's wrong with it in a serious article. It's not a value judgment so much. It's just that I think if you want them to really get engrossed in what you're doing, then it's best to avoid that. Okay, so